Vanakkam. This disastrous corona. Before COVID 19, we used to have face to face communication, but now we need to wear a mask before we speak to anyone. On one hand, corona is just behind us. We are also trying to chase out this monster corona. I'm wearing this mask because to be safe from corona, but a lot of people have done unimaginable, brutal, inhuman atrocities wearing a mask. To unmask these culprits, let me remove mine now. Just like Pollachi incident, a similar case has happened in Nagercoil. A lot of good people are there in Nagercoil. In fact, our lawyers, our auditors, our doctors. I have very good friends there as well. Literacy rate is quite high there, but every time when I hear of this incident, I feel ashamed, really ashamed. Suji alias Kasi is a mad dog, wild dog. When I say mad, I mean the one that hunts down or whatever you can think of, you imagine. He is that worst creature. His father is a meat trader. Like his father, who sells chicken and mutton in his stall. Now, this man has gone one step further and he eats the flesh of young girls. This Kasi exploits these young girls for his sexual greed, and not just him, but also his circle of friends, these 6-7 gundas around him. He supplies these young girls as treat to them. This has been happening for quite a long time, and a Pollachi issue came to limelight. But what is the use of it? Now another Suji has emerged now. This is why we have been making so much of noise. We have been shouting on this repeatedly, asking them not to leave such people, not to leave them. The loopholes in the legal system, our authorities, the ruling party, and all of them save these fanatics. Now, coming to this mad dog Kasi, why am I panicking is that this guy has not even spared little young school-going children, along with college students and other women who has got affected. He gets in touch with these prey through this insanely used technology we know, chatting. It is actually there, this technology is there to be used productively, but I've been continuously warning a lot of people on how this chatting is used to adversely affect our culture. Through this chatting, one of his methods, he traps all these young girls. He sexually exploits them, these poor girls. They believe him naively. At one point, he would start blaming the victim, create a drama, and this is one of his tricks he was using against them. He would blame them and then tie them up to have bondage sex. This is now more brutal than Pollachi sex, because in this case he has also inebriated these young girls with drugs, taken nude photos of these women, with which he blackmails and forces them to have repeated sex. Now, not just him, he also served these women to other mad dogs who are in higher positions. There are a lot of people like that, and we have seen them in Pollachi case as well. Now, young girls are served as meat to them. Next, he would make them unconscious, pour beer on their body, and pounce on them like an hunting dog. Now, this all happened for all this while, but without any shame and disgrace. He has been visiting courts very frequently. The first people to bring these atrocities out boldly was a lady doctor and another engineering student. They both lodged a complaint, and we should really appreciate them. If we look at this case, he has almost raped more than 90 women, and he has ruined all of them for a sexual greed. Just imagine 90 plus women, he has 450 plus videos, each of them runs 5 to 10 minutes, and a hard disk with huge data storage, and all of these laptops were all confiscated from his father's meat stall. After confiscating all this, what should have he done? Look at the tricks of him to cheat and girls. One example. Once, 12th grade student got caught in Kasi's trap. She is from Bengaluru and he has gone to her place as well. I keep telling it again and again. They get cheated very, very easily. This man has gone to the girl's house when her parents were away and started doing his usual affair with her. On the next day morning, after his usual affair, while he is supposed to leave the place, he refuses to leave the place. The girl has to go to school. She gives the key to him and says that leave the place when you get up, lock the door and leave. To the girl's shock, when she returns back home, she finds that expensive items at the home are being stolen. Look at these girls, how these girls are cheated. Look at his audacity. Another trick, he gets close to these girls through chatting and then video calls and so on. When they get along so well, he tells them, I'll forget your past, you forget my past, let us start a new life. Unfortunately, this dog looks handsome. His body is his investment to seduce women, and our poor girls think that they will get a handsome husband. Look how misfortunate these girls are. And he will suddenly stop taking their calls at some point of time. These girls keep calling him repeatedly, and one fine day he will just pick up the call and shout at them very badly. While these girls are left confused on why he's shouting and they keep thinking they have done anything wrong, he would call them back late in the night and then ask them for a video call. And that too, he would insist them to see them nude in that video call, and he will agree to continue talking to these girls only obliged to his demand. Now these girls, assuming that this handsome guy will be their future husband, would comply to his demands, and he records these video chats and calls to blackmail them. It is not as simple, and he does not stop here as we think. He will then make these girls available to all the men hanging around with him. Recently, they've arrested one guy named Dyson, who is the editor of all these videos. Totally 7 of them, and they've arrested only one of these 7. 6 are still roaming around shamelessly. Not that police cannot see them, everyone knows where they are. But the police stays blind to them because they all hold higher positions. 2 of them are lawyers, one is in a political party, one is in a ruling party, and another is an usury lender, that is Kanduvadi lender. All of these are huge, well-built men. Wherever he goes, he takes his lawyers with him. He would treat them luxuriously with money that he has gained from these blackmail incidents. And these girls have fell prey to him, would give that money. The fact that I'm not able to digest here is that all those men who are hanging around with him, don't you have women in your family? What will you do if he does the same crime to the women in your family? Won't you just rip him apart? So, as long as your women are safe and your family is safe, you will let them do this crime to other women, right? Are you even a human being? And there are other 2 cunning dogs in Malaysia, somehow associated with him. He sends these sex videos to them with which he blackmails the girls. We understand that he has not changed a bit yet, and he's still the same. We should appreciate one important move that happened in Pollachi case. When these 6 dogs, including Tirunavukarasu, were arrested, the Lawyers Association in Pollachi decided that no legal counsel will appear to defend them. But in Nagercoil, this has not happened, and if this happens, well and good. If you notice this, you would know that he is in police custody and he is getting into a van. He tells the woman police next to him, these media people are making me very popular and this will help my future. Just imagine. Another important thing, 2-3 audios were also released. I don't know how much they will blackmail after these audios and videos. Now, Kasi says in this audio, I can ask another person to call you and prove that you are a bad woman. That's why I tied you up and had beaten you up. Now, this is his voice. Shall I ask another guy to call you and make him tell you that you are his life and he wants to marry you? You will believe him too, right? What else you do you need now? You trusted all those words, right? And you also got beaten from me. Any stronger evidence than this? Why have we let him free till now? There is another audio to this Dyson. He says, "Look at these girls. They've all got beaten up. They've also given me all their money, and they've even come down to the streets. All this is because they're attracted to me. They're so much addicted to me to the extent of giving me all the money, and they will come to the streets as pauper." When these girls who got cheated had told about him to their parents, they have kind of traced him down, tracked him down. But the people around him, such as these lawyers, these usury, that is, this Kanduvati lenders, and the ruling party people, would safeguard him by beating and chasing their parents away. This gives the power for him to remain shameless about all these incidents. While he's still in police custody and a police officer is seen standing next to him in the court premises, he poses to the journalist with a heart and symbol. The press people have clicked pictures. You see it here. If he has given this pose before his arrest, we might just rub it aside, thinking that this is just one of his atrocities. But he's now under police custody, and he's still happily giving them a hardened pose to the media. Now, they should have broken his hands off, right, for this? Have you noticed that off late in Tamil Nadu, chain snatchers and eve teasers, their hands are all broken, and the reason that they give is that all of them had slipped and accidentally fell in the bath. Everyone knows about this. This culprit is not slipping and accidentally falling down in the bathroom. I don't intend to justify the crimes done by the people whose hands are being broken, but if they deserve this kind of a punishment, how can you spare such crooked guy like Kasi, who has literally fed on these young girls, and now you even allow him to give a hearting pose before the journalist? They have just let him go easy. We have also used this photo many times in our magazine because we have to bring out these things to people's attention, right? Now, he's even heard saying in front of the court, "What have they done to those who got arrested in Polachi case? I shall anyway continue to live the life of a king." He's even quoted a legal angle, and he says those photos, videos, and all they had confiscated will go void in the court. I know I can come out of this very easily. Photos, videos are not legally acceptable in any court. Just in my area itself, every day I fight with a minimum of 5 people based on these police complaints. Now just imagine how many girls he would have exploited like this. From where did he get this audacity? Giving a heartened pose while being in police custody? If they had cut his hands for this, then we would have given our police hats off. How did he get so much of confidence? A Gundas Act have been filed on him. Mark my words, just in 3 months he will come out and show his middle finger to all of us. This is what has happened in Polachi case also, right? I predicted the same for them as well. I said that they'll be out in a few days, dusting off everything, and it just happened the same way in Polachi. Why are Gundas case filed on them? So that nobody questions them, and that's why Gundas Act exists. Police officers reacted immediately to a similar issue in Telangana, and they encountered those rapists. Now, if you had followed the same approach in Polachi case, these people like Kasi would never have emerged. Why is he doing it again and again? He's now fearless. He had given injections to women and marked tattoos on their bum, that is below their back, without their knowledge. Now we understand why he had given that pose in the court premises. It means he wants those women to be safe. If they try to come out and complain about him, he would reveal their identity. Even now, he is collecting money from these girls by blackmailing them. If you leave him free even after all this, as I said, Polachi case incidents led to Kasi's emergence. And if these Kasis should be stopped for once for all, encounter them.